Ayana reporting. Today's topic will be about the Alamo, the Battle of the Alamo. You see, right behind me here is the Alamo. It all started since Stephen F. Austin led groups of families to settle in the southeastern Texas in 1822. This territory belonged to Mexico. Soon, the white settlers far outnumbered the Mexican settlers, called Tejanos. The white settlers brought American culture with them. By 1830, Mexico feared it might lose control of Texas. Now Mexico passed a law forbidding any more U.S. settlers. Mexico built forts to keep watch. Soon, Mexico set up democratic governments that allowed them to govern themselves. In 1829, General Santa Anna led the Mexicans to victory from Spain trying to retake Mexico. Santa Anna was elected Mexico's president in 1833, but turned out to be a cruel dictator. He took many freedoms territories had. When a territory rebelled, Santa Anna brought in the Mexican army. Thousands of innocent people were killed. As Texas grew there, they wanted to govern themselves. They sent a petition, but it was denied. In the fall of 1835, Texans formed a temporary government for the state of Texas. They were ready to fight for rights. The fighting between Mexico and Texas started in October 1835 over a single cannon. Mexican troops came to the town Gonzales to take the cannon. The Texans refused to give up the cannon. Instead, they fired rifles at the Mexican troops, driving them away. About a week later, Texans captured the Mexican fort at Golland. A revolution has begun, and there was no turning back. In early December, a rebel force defeated the Mexicans at the Battle of San Antonio de Bear. Mexican General Martin Perfecto de Cos and his soldiers surrendered and went back to Mexico. When Santa Anna learned this, he vowed to quash it. He started north with an army of several thousand soldiers. He wanted to arrive before spring. He wanted to recapture San Antonio de Bear and teach them a lesson. Meanwhile, the Texans gathered volunteer troops. Sam Houston commanded the Texan army, but he only had a little control over volunteer leaders in the field. One small garrison was stationed in San Antonio de Bear. The Alamo, a fort that had once been a mission, was there. Houston sent Colonel James Bowie to San Antonio de Bear. Colonel James Bowie was really good with the knife. The Bowie knife was named after him. Bowie arrived in January 1836. Houston considered abandoning the Alamo, but Bowie decided to defend the fort. He hoped reinforcements would come before Santa Anna's army arrived at the Alamo. Lieutenant Colonel William Travis commanded the soldiers within the Alamo. Bowie led volunteers. Then Bowie got very ill. This left Travis in charge. After weeks, the Mexican army reached San Antonio de Bear on February 23, 1836. The Texan soldiers prepared to defend the Alamo. While more reinforcements came, Santa Anna tried to wear down the Alamo's defenders. By early March, Santa Anna had grown tired of siege. He wanted to attack. His cannons would soon arrive and knock down the Alamo walls and make the attack easier, is what Santa Anna thought. He decided to attack before dawn on March 6th. Travis sensed the attack coming. The bloody battle of the Alamo lasted only 90 minutes. It left about 180 Texans and 600 Mexicans dead. As the siege of the Alamo neared its end, Texas formally declared its independence on March 2nd. After the Alamo fell, Santa Anna's army kept pressing forward, trying to crush the rebellion once and for all. In late March, the Mexican army captured Colonel Fain's force of nearly 400 Texans who surrendered at Golan. The Mexicans executed all of them. This massacre enraged Texans even more. Meanwhile, Sam Houston and the other Texans' remaining troops retreated as Santa Anna's army advanced. Houston was simply waiting to strike. His troops surprised Santa Anna's force with a sudden attack at San Jacinto on April 21. They overwhelmed the Mexicans, many of whom were napping. From defeat to victory.